chemical name of the compounds and their common names as well. Then after that, we commence the chapter chemical reactions and equations. Just we shall recall some important points what we discussed in yesterday's class. The very first one is the definition of chemical reaction. You all know that if a chemical reaction is nothing but a chemical process in which one or more substances undergo chemical change to form one or more new substances with new properties. This is chemical reaction. Once I repeat, the process in which one or more substances undergo chemical change to form one or more new substances with new properties is known as chemical reaction. And here, in case of chemical reaction, the substances which undergo chemical reaction, they are reactants. And the new substances that are formed as a result of chemical reaction, they are called products. So reactants and products, these are the factors of chemical reaction. Please do remember, these are the parts of chemical reaction. And we have taken few examples as well. One among them is burning of magnesium ribbon is a chemical reaction. You also know that before burning a magnesium ribbon, we will go for wiping it. We will go for rubbing it with a sandpaper. What may be the reason for this? You all know that. So by rubbing it with a sandpaper, we can go for removing the unwanted impurity called basic magnesium carbonate. Then what are the components of basic magnesium carbonate? It is basic magnesium carbonate. It's a combination of magnesium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. And this is formed when magnesium ribbon is exposed to the atmosphere and it reacts with oxygen, carbon dioxide and water vapors present in the atmosphere and forms a thin layer. We call that layer as basic magnesium carbonate. Followed? So, but while writing the reason, you have to write in this way. That is, first I'll tell you the question once. Before burning a magnesium ribbon, it is to be wiped with a sandpaper. Why? You have to write like this, because to remove the unwanted impurity called basic magnesium carbonate, so that it can make it readily react with oxygen while burning. So this is actual reason should be written. Swati, we see. Got it? Then after that, even we took many examples for chemical reactions. It may be the rusting of iron, even the corrosion of the copper. Then not only that, soaring of the milk, conversion of the substance from milk to curd, then digestion of food, respiration, even photosynthesis. There are some examples for chemical reactions. But in this chapter, we are particularly focusing on the reactions that we conduct in the laboratory, the school laboratory. So we are discussing such things. And after that, if you want to identify a chemical reaction has taken place or not, so we will go for observing some of the criteria, and these observations are called the characteristics of chemical reactions. Characteristics of chemical reactions, they are: one is evolution of gas, second one is formation of precipitate, third one is change in the temperature, fourth one is change in the color, then fifth one is change of physical state of a substance. In all these cases, the initial substance undergoes permanent change. Once it is changed, you cannot get back the initial substance from the new substance, right? So please do remember these characteristics or observations that we make to identify or to know whether a chemical reaction has taken place or not. Once just I make you to recall these points. First one is evolution of gas. Second one is formation of precipitate. Third one is change in temperature. Fourth one is change in color. And fifth one is change of physical state of a substance. Here we use the word called precipitate. Then what is precipitate? We know that precipitate, it is also a chemical substance, and it is its nature is solid, its physical state is solid, and this solid substance is formed during the chemical reaction, and this is insoluble in the solution, and we call such a chemical substance as precipitate. The solid chemical substance which is formed during the chemical reaction and insoluble in the solution is known as precipitate. And you also know that precipitate is formed under two important conditions. They are, one is, just to go for recalling it, the first one is when two aqueous solutions react with each other, then precipitate is formed. Then second one, when a gas is passed into the aqueous solution, a precipitate is formed, right? Do you remember or not? Sohani, do you remember? Once I repeat, precipitate, the condition, just listen. The conditions under which precipitate is formed are, the first one is when two aqueous solutions react with each other, means reactant should be aqueous solutions. Next, second one, when gas is passed into the aqueous solution. Under these two conditions, precipitate is formed. You may go for taking the example, the most familiar one which we come across in yesterday's class. It is lead nitrate, aqueous solution of lead nitrate, when it reacts with aqueous solution of potassium iodide, that will write like this: PbNO3 twice. Then when it reacts with aqueous solution of potassium iodide, then it forms a yellow color precipitate called, what it is? Lead iodide. This is PbI2. This is yellow precipitate plus aqueous solution of potassium nitrate is formed. And similarly, we also know that this precipitate is formed when gas is passed into the aqueous solution. I'll go for taking one such example for that. It is when carbon dioxide gas is passed into slaked lime, that is calcium hydroxide. Then calcium carbonate is formed plus water. Look here, a gas is passed into the aqueous solution of calcium hydroxide. It forms a white precipitate called calcium carbonate. So these are the two examples. Okay. I think this much we had discussed. Now let's go for continuing this chapter. Yes, students, we have already come across many chemical reactions, particularly that we conduct in laboratory. The very first and simple one is, it is burning of magnesium ribbon. Actually, what happens when the magnesium is being burnt? So when the magnesium is burnt, it reacts with oxygen present in the air and produces a white powdery mass called magnesium oxide, right? Do you remember or not? Once I repeat, when magnesium is burnt, it reacts with oxygen present in the air and produces magnesium oxide. See that this is this reaction, it is lengthy. The sentence is lengthy. You can go for writing in a short form. How? We can write like this. Okay, burning of magnesium ribbon. I'm going to write in this way. It is magnesium and oxygen. We know that these are the substances which undergo chemical reaction, which are called reactants. And let us separate them by, or let us join them by using the plus sign. Then here this arrow mark indicates the reaction is taking place and produces the magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide. See that this is the short form of the chemical reaction, that is burning of magnesium ribbon. And this short form is known as word equation. Look at here, what are the compounds that are involved and what are the compounds that are formed. Everything has been written in words only. So this is called word equation. And even you can go for representing this symbolically. Still you can make it as very concise. You can write it in concise form, still short form, as by using the symbols. You know that magnesium, atomic symbol of magnesium is Mg, and chemical formula of oxygen, this is O2, gives rise to magnesium oxide. Chemical symbol of, or chemical formula of magnesium oxide is MgO. This is the symbolic representation of the chemical reaction. This symbolic representation is known as chemical equation. Got it? The symbolic representation of chemical reaction is chemical equation. This is general way that we can remember what is a chemical equation. Followed. But actually, when we come across the actual definition, we can define like this. Chemical equation, it is the method of representing the chemical reaction by using the symbols and chemical formula of the reactants and products. Clear? Once I repeat, the method of representing the chemical reaction, the method of representing chemical reaction by using the symbols and the chemical formula of reactants and products is known as chemical equation. Hope that you have understood. So, just to recall what is chemical equation, you can tell like this: the symbolic representation of the chemical reaction. But if for the examination point of view, you have to write the definition like this: the method of representing the chemical reaction by using the symbols and the chemical formula of reactants and products is known as chemical equation. Okay. Now, dear students, let us go for writing the chemical equations of some chemical reactions related to these characteristics of chemical reactions. Yesterday, when I told you, let's go for taking just two examples with respect to each characteristic. So before that, now you just note down the point. Precipitate, right? Side heading, precipitate. I think in yesterday's class, the last heading was characteristics of chemical reactions. Mohammed Sahel, right? And you have written 5 points. After that, have you written anything? No. Now you're right. Write down precipitate. Precipitate. Write the definition. The solid chemical substance. The solid chemical substance the solid chemical substance which is formed during the chemical reaction, and insoluble in the solution, is called a precipitate. A solid chemical substance which is formed during chemical reaction and is insoluble in the solution is called a precipitate. Written. Yes. Next, just below that you write the conditions under which precipitate is formed. Right, side heading, conditions under which precipitate is formed. Conditions under which precipitate is formed. As I said, there are two conditions. Bhavna RB, what are those two conditions? The first one is when two aqueous solutions react with each other. Right? When two aqueous solutions react with each other. Two aqueous solutions react with each other. And second one, when a gas is passed into the aqueous solution. Right? When a gas is passed into the aqueous solution. When gas is passed into the aqueous solution. With respect to that, so you have to write these two examples. Right? Examples. This is first one. That is, when the aqueous solutions of lead nitrate and potassium iodide react with each other, they form the yellow precipitate called lead iodide and the aqueous solution called potassium nitrate. Over. Write the second example. When the carbon dioxide gas is passed into an aqueous solution of calcium hydroxide, it produces the white precipitate called calcium carbonate. Then what? Written? Okay. Now you'll write about chemical equation. Right. Side A. Chemical equation. Right. The method of representing a chemical reaction, the method of representing a chemical reaction by using the symbols and the chemical formula of chemical formulas of reactants and products. Reactants and products involved are called is called chemical equation. Chemical equation. Just below that you write, this is the symbolic representation of chemical reaction. It is the symbolic representation of chemical equation. Chemical equation. Overall. So let's go for taking one example with respect to that, what I explained earlier. Right. Okay. Example. Right. A magnesium ribbon or magnesium metal reacts with oxygen on burning to produce magnesium oxide. Here, first, with respect to this, I'll go for writing the word equation. So, word equation of this chemical reaction is, right, it is magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium plus oxygen gives rise to magnesium oxide. Right. The symbolic equation or chemical equation. Chemical equation is this. By recalling the definition of chemical equation, you go for writing. The method of representing the given chemical reaction using the symbols and chemical formula of reactants and products. Chemical formula of reactants, it is Mg, then O2, and the symbol that we go for using in between these two reactants is plus. Then we draw an arrow mark which indicates the direction of chemical reaction taking place. Next, product, it is magnesium oxide, can be written as MgO. Followed. Hope that you have written. Now you may observe this. Look here. Look at the, just observe this chemical equation. In this chemical equation, what all the reactants are there? All the reactants are to be written on the left hand side. And all the products are to be written on the right hand side of the chemical equation. This is one of the characteristic feature of chemical equation. And second one, the reactants are separated by using the plus sign. Even the products are also, if more than one products are there, they are to be separated by using plus sign. Next, third point is the arrow mark. Look at the head point indicates the direction in which chemical reaction is taking place. So these are the three important characteristic features of chemical equations. Once I repeat, all reactants are to be written on the left hand side of the equation. then all the products are to be written at the right hand side. Second point, reactants are separated by plus sign. Products are separated by plus sign. Next, third point, the arrow mark, the head of the arrow mark that indicates the direction in which chemical reaction taking place. Examiner, even such simple points can also be asked. So you should be thorough in all the respect. So now let me give you the points regarding features of chemical equation. Right, slide D. Characteristics features of chemical equation. So we have come across the characteristics of chemical reaction. They are different from this. Characteristics of chemical equation. Write the points one by one. The very first one is we'll go for writing the molecular formula of all the reactants are written on the left hand side. Right. Molecular formula of all reactants are written on left hand side of the equation, and products are written on RHS side of the equation. This is first part. The molecular formula of all reactants are written on the left hand side and products are written on the right hand side of the chemical equation. Next, I'll continue that here. Second point is, look at reactants are and products are separated by, reactants are separated by plus sign. Even the products are also separated by plus sign. Copy this. Right. Reactants are separated with plus sign, and the products are separated by plus sign. Next, third point, the arrow mark. So which is arrow mark will always be written between reactants and products, and the head point of the arrow mark indicates the direction of reaction taking place. Right. Arrow mark is written or placed between reactants and products. And the head point indicates the direction of chemical reaction. Arrow mark is placed between reactants and products, and the head point indicates the direction of chemical reaction. or direction of chemical reaction taking place. So these are the three important characteristics of chemical equation. Hope that you have written. Have you all written, Gautami? Okay. Nitya D. Nayak, Nilesh, Meg Sandesh, Sumit. Okay. Varsha, have you written? Yes, very good. Now observe. I'm going to take one of the chemical equations. The most familiar one, it is burning of magnesium ribbon. On burning, magnesium reacts with oxygen to produce magnesium oxide. So its symbolic representation can be written as Mg plus O2 gives rise to MgO. Just go through this chemical equation. Could you identify the elements that are involved in this chemical equation? Rahul Palati. Okay. The elements that are involved are magnesium is there. Next, oxygen is there, right? Only these two elements are there. So I just observe here. Magnesium and oxygen. These are the elements that are involved. I'm telling about elements. Elements that are involved in this chemical equation are, one is magnesium, second one is oxygen. We all know that all the reactants are to be written on the left hand side, and all the products are to be written on the right hand side of the chemical equation. Here, could you tell how many atoms of magnesium are there on the reactant side? Yes, how many? Only one atom. Only one atom. Here I'm writing. Whereas oxygen atoms, how many are there? You can show with the symbol. Two are there. Wow. There are two oxygen atoms. Whereas in case of right hand side, how many atoms of magnesium are there? There is only one magnesium atom. The number of oxygen atom on the right hand side, here also just one. Look here. Now you count the total number of atoms present on the reactant side. Here 1 and 2. Altogether it is 3. One atom of magnesium and 2 atoms of oxygen. Altogether 3 atoms are there. Similarly, on the right hand side, the total number of atoms are, it is 2. Look here, the number of atoms on the reactant side and product side, are they equal? Are they equal? Varsha, they are not equal. See, the 3 is not equal to 2. Rahul Palate. Look here. If so, what do you say about their masses of all the reactants and masses of all the products? Will it be equal? You do not know that. Yeah, just you may recall last year concept, atomic mass concept. What is that atomic mass? It is 112. The mass of one atom of carbon 12 is called atomic mass. You are also familiar with atomic mass of magnesium as well as oxygen. What is the atomic mass of magnesium? It is 24 unified mass. You all remember? Then what is it about oxygen? Atomic mass of oxygen is 60 unified mass. Now I'll just go for taking the LHS part of the chemical equation. See, here we have one atom of magnesium and 2 atoms of oxygen. Okay, 1 atom of magnesium and 2 atoms of oxygen. Count the mass here. Magnesium, 1 into atomic mass of magnesium is 24, then here plus 2 into atomic mass of oxygen is 16. This is equal to 16 2s are 32, 32 plus 24, it is 56 unified mass. Did you understand? Did you understand? Yes. Okay. Now similarly, I'll go for taking RHS part, nothing but product side. Here we have 1 atom of magnesium and 1 atom of oxygen. It's equal to 1 into atomic mass of magnesium is 24 unified mass, atomic mass of oxygen is 16 unified mass. Here 24 ones are 24, 16 ones are 16. Together it is 40 unified mass. Okay. Here from these two, LHS part and RHS part, with calculation, we can come to know that in this equation, the mass of reactants and the mass of products, they are not equal, right? Here, LHS part is not equal to RHS part. Then what does it represent? It represents this equation is not following one of the law of chemical combination. NPDena, last year you had learned that. What is that law of chemical combination? It is the law of conservation of mass. Next one is law of definite proportion. Do you all remember them? Otherly, one thought, very first one. According to the law of conservation of mass, according to the law of conservation of mass, see, mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the products. Is it not? That is simple way of knowing the statement of law of conservation of mass. Here, whether that law of conservation of mass is it satisfied? No. So if it is not satisfied, we call such chemical equation as unbalanced chemical equation. Got it? It is also called skeletal chemical equation. Followed? Once I tell you. So from this we can come to know that there is types of chemical equations. One is unbalanced. Then if it is unbalanced, obviously one should be balanced as well. Now let me give you information about balanced and unbalanced chemical equations. First, unbalanced. We should just go for recalling unbalanced. This chemical equation is said to be unbalanced because one thing, the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms of the product side, right? You know, magnesium 1 atom, okay, it is balanced. Whereas this is, here oxygen is 2, here oxygen is 1. So hence we can say that the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. This is known as unbalanced chemical equation. So in this unbalanced chemical equation, we have come to know that mass of the reactants is not equal to the mass of the products, right? 2 points are over. Third point, it is, you can also come to know that this unbalanced chemical equation does not satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Actually, actual statement is mass can neither be created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Meaning, it is just mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the product. But here, it is not happening. Hence, you can say that unbalanced chemical equation does not satisfy law of conservation of mass. And fourth point, one example. Mg plus O2 gives rise to Mg. Clear? Did you all understand? Okay. Now, I'll give you information about balanced chemical equation. Yeah. Observe. Here, one atom of magnesium, two atoms of oxygen. Here, one atom of magnesium, one atom of oxygen. Which is balanced? Which element has equal number of atoms? Yaudo? This is magnesium. Magnesium to one atom. Here also one atom. Whereas oxygen is not. Oxygen element does not have equal number of atoms. Two here, hence I go for multiplying two here. Look at now two atoms of oxygen, two atoms of oxygen. But matte ಈಗ magnesium atom ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, two atoms of magnesium. Here is one atom is there and multiply it by 2. ಈಗ count ಮಾಡಿ. Please observe the board. Observe Rajat. Here, magnesium atom on the reactant side, 2. Product side, 2. Followed? Vignesh, is it okay? Next, oxygen, number of atoms on reactant side, 2. Product side, 2. Now, observe the total number of atoms on the reactant side, 2 plus 2, 4. Product side, 2 plus 2, 4. It is equal. The number of atoms of each element on the reactant side and product side equal. Not only that, let us go for checking out the mass of the reactants and mass of the product. Mass of reactants, LHS part. Okay, 2 atoms of magnesium and 2 atoms of oxygen. It is equal to 2 atoms of magnesium. Atomic mass of magnesium is 24. Atomic mass of oxygen is 16. It is equal to 24 2s are 48. Then 16 2s are 32. Then 48 plus 32. It is 80. 80 unified mass. Whereas RHS part. Here also, let's go for finding the atomic mass of RHS part. Here, 2 atoms of magnesium and 2 atoms of oxygen. Here also, 2 into, okay, magnesium plus oxygen. Right? It's equal to 2 into magnesium. Magnesium is 24, oxygen atomic mass is 16. 24 plus 16. 40. 42s are 80. 80 unified mass. Got it? So in case of balanced chemical equation, mass of reactants is equal to mass of products. Then if so, can we say that it satisfies the law of conservation of mass? Yes or no? Yes, it satisfies the law of conservation of mass. Example, this one. 2 mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 mg. Hope that you have understood about the types of chemical equations. Mukta, artha aitanamma? Yes. Once I repeat, balanced chemical equation. The chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to product side is known as balanced chemical equation. Don't try it. Utsav. Don't try it. Next. Here, in balanced chemical equation, the mass of the reactants is equal to the mass of the product. Third point. Balanced chemical equation satisfies the law of conservation of mass. Fourth one, just you can give one example. Differences na kelbodu. Write the differences between balanced and unbalanced chemical equations, or differentiate balanced and unbalanced chemical equations. If they ask you, if it is asked for 2 marks, write 2 points. 2 points with respect to each. Yes. Now you write side D. Types of chemical equations. Types of chemical equations. Right. Types of chemical equations. There are 2 types. Directly I'll write. They are. First one is balanced chemical equation. It is also called skeletal. Sorry, it is just balanced one. Balanced chemical equation. And second one is unbalanced chemical equation. Unbalanced chemical equation. In bracket you may write. It is also called skeletal equation. Skeletal equation. So now let me give you the points with respect to each of these. Repeat. Right. First one, balanced chemical equation. Balanced chemical equation. Balanced chemical equation. How do you go for defining balanced chemical equation? It is if a chemical equation in which the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to the product side. Got it? So write it as pointer. If the number of atoms of each element, on the reactant side, is equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side is equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. Come on. Then it is called a balanced chemical equation. Just you may write balanced equation. If a chemical equation has equal number of atoms of each element on the reactant side and product side, then it is called balanced chemical equation. Then another point, what is that? In case of balanced chemical equation, what do you say about the atomic mass? Or else the total mass of reactant side and product side. This will also be equal, right? Followed or not? The total mass of reactant side is equal to product. The total mass of reactants is equal to product. The total mass of reactants is equal to the product equal to the mass of product. Written up. Next, which law does it satisfy? It is the law of conservation of mass. Right? It satisfies the law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass. Prashant sir, you may unmute some students. Okay, next one. The point is, satisfies the law of conservation of mass. 4 point. Just give an example.
Sir, unmute your audio. Sir, unmute your audio.
Okay. Shivkumar, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. This is
Yes, sir.
now I'm writing the balanced chemical equation. 2 cycle 2 MgO. Four important points with respect to balanced chemical equation. Now you may write another side heading, unbalanced chemical equation. It is also called. What it is also called? It is
Skeleton equation.
Skeleton.
Skeleton equation.
Skeleton equation.
Not skeleton, skeletal. Unbalanced chemical equation. Unbalanced chemical equation. First, let me give you the definition. It is quite opposite to balanced. See here, the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to the product side. But in this case, they are not equal. Right? Here, one writing quickly, if the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is not equal to product side, then it is called unbalanced chemical equation. The number of elements, so number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. Then it is called unbalanced chemical equation. Now, here the total mass of reactants is not equal to the mass of the products, right? But the mass of reactants is not equal to mass of products. Mass of reactants is not equal to mass of products. Then does it obey law of conservation of mass? No. So it does not satisfy. Write the same. It does not satisfy the law of conservation of mass. It does not satisfy the law of conservation of mass. And you may give the example. That is, Mg plus O2 gives rise to MgO. Written.
Wait, sir.
Hope that you have completed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Observe.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how that balanced chemical equation obey the law of conservation of mass? Sir?
Balanced chemical equation. If you, I think, Anaga, right?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
okay. Look, when you find out the mass of the reactants, you'll find out the mass of reactants and you'll also find out the mass of the products.
Yes, sir.
So on finding, you'll come to know both will be equal. Andre, total. When you find out the mass of the reactants before chemical reaction, then mass of the products after chemical reaction, both will be equal. So here you can say that the total mass is conserved. Hence, we can say that the balanced chemical equation will satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Clear, Anaga?
Yes, sir.
Hope that you all copied. In the examination, if they ask you to write the differences, you should not go for writing one below the other. You have to write side by side. One side, it is balanced, and another side, unbalanced. And the point should also be, definition. Please listen carefully. I think Anushka, yes. Here's come. Here, you'll make a table, and in first column, balanced chemical equation, second column, unbalanced chemical equation. Here, first point. Here you'll write the number of atoms of each element. The number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. Next, here first point. The number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is not equal to the number of atoms of each element on the product side. Here, second point. The mass of reactants is not is equal to the mass of the products. Second point. The mass of the reactants is not equal to the mass of the products. Next, third point here. It satisfies the law of conservation of mass. Here, third point. It does not satisfy the law of conservation of mass. And fourth point, you can give it as an example. Here, just I've taken very simple one. 2 mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 mgO. It is a balanced. Here, fourth point. Just mg plus O2 gives rise to mgO. Got it? For differences, you have to make 2 columns. Dear students. Okay. Observe. I'm good for writing the same chemical equation, that is mg plus O2 gives rise to mgO. Observe. mg plus O2 gives rise to mgO. It is balanced or unbalanced?
Unbalanced.
Unbalanced.
Unbalanced chemical equation. Now I'm writing 2 mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 mg.
Balanced.
Balanced chemical equation.
Balanced chemical equation.
Dear students, here unbalanced chemical equation, nothing but skeletal chemical equation is converted into balanced chemical equation. How? By equalizing the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side and product side. 2 atoms of magnesium, 2 atoms of magnesium, 2 atoms of oxygen, 2 atoms of oxygen. But how to equalize that? And what do you call that process of equalizing the number of atoms of each elements on the reactant side and product side?
Balancing of chemical equation.
Have a process. That process
Balanced
is
chemical
known as
equation.
balancing a chemical equation. Balancing chemical equation andre the process of the process of equalizing the number of atoms on reactant side and the number of atoms of each element on the product side. Clear? This process is known as balancing a chemical equation. Dear students, to balance a chemical equation, we have different methods. Like, if mostly one is algebraic method, second one is electron method, then oxidation method, then hit and trial method. But among these, for 10th standard, that is for your, they have introduced the method called hit and trial method. Now we will come to know how to balance a chemical equation by hit and trial method. What is balancing a chemical equation by hit and trial method? Examination, I'll tell you what it is. Before that, write side heading. Balancing a chemical equation. Right, side heading. Side heading, it is balancing a chemical equation. Balancing a chemical equation. It can be defined as the number of atoms of the process of equalizing the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side and product side. That's all. Right. The process of equalizing the number of atoms of each element on reactants and products. Is called balancing chemical equation. Balancing a chemical equation. Tell the method that we follow to balance a chemical equation.
Hit and trial.
Hit and trial method.
Hit and trial method.
For 10th standard, only hit and trial method is there. Right. Method. Method to be used to balance a chemical equation. Balance an unbalanced chemical equation. It is hit and trial method. Hit and trial. Let it be inverted. One day focus mode is right. Hit and trial method. One. Now, let me go for explaining how to balance a chemical equation by taking one chemical equation. Please don't go for writing anything, just stop writing and observe. And please do remember, in case of hit and trial method, we will go for only the multiplication method. No addition, no subtraction, no division. ಬರೀ multiplication ಮಾತ್ರ follow ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ in this academic year. I'll go for taking an example. Here, the most familiar one, it is mg plus O2 gives rise to mg. Repeatedly, I have been taking this chemical equation only. The reason is, it is very easy to understand the concept by moving from easy to complex, simple to complex, known to unknown, direct to indirect, like this. Observe. Very simple thing is, first we will go for listing the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side and product side. First we will write the number elements that are involved. One is magnesium, second one is oxygen. Next, LHS side, reactant side, number of atoms of magnesium is 1, oxygen is 2. Number of atoms of magnesium on the product side, here is 1, and oxygen is 1. Then after that, I'll write the equation as it is, mg plus O2 gives rise to mg. Now what we will do is, we will go for selecting an element having the maximum number of atoms. So now look at just atoms in whether magnesium has more number of atoms
Oxygen.
or has more number of atoms.
Oxygen.
Oxygen. You may take both LHS and RHS and compare and tell which one has maximum number of atoms. Here, oxygen has maximum number of atoms. It should be balanced first. In LHS side, we have 2 electrons, 2 atoms, whereas RHS side, only 1 atom. Now, could you tell what should be multiplied with 1 to get 2?
2, sir.
2 sir.
2.
It is 2. So 2 has to be multiplied on RHS side, nothing but product side, and multiply. This is 2. Now oxygen atom has been balanced, right? Oxygen atom balance agade. Next, magnesium, count it. 2 atoms of magnesium. Then here only 1 atom of magnesium is there. So what should be multiplied with 2?
Multiplied by 2.
1 magnesium atom to get 2 magnesium. Here 2. Now this is balanced. Got it? Arthaita?
Yes,
Mishka,
sir.
did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But in the examination point of view, the question will be asked like this. Balance the following chemical equation by using hit and trial method. And steps here. Now I am going to give you all these steps. Write down as a question and put 3 star mark for this. 3 star mark. I'll give you the question how it was given in the examination. Right now, explain the steps to be followed. Explain the steps to be followed. While balancing. A chemical equation. By hit and trial method. For the reaction. Then what we do? They put semicolon. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ reaction. When the iron, when iron reacts with water, can we write so? Last year you considered it. Sorry, in 8th standard, whether iron reacts with water,
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Rust.
No. Iron water ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. It does not react with a cold water, does not react with a normal water, does not react with warm water, does not react with even hot water. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು?
Moisture.
No, ಆ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ. ನಾನು ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. Yes, it reacts with steam. Steam ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Vapor, sir.
Right, steam ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Nothing but water vapors. Iron reacts with the steam. To form iron oxide. Then ಹೇಳಿ.
Parasol.
That's it only.
Hydrogen.
You have studied about reaction of metal with the water. If I take the sodium reacts with water to form
Sodium hydroxide.
with the liberation of hydrogen gas. When metal reacts with the water, it produces its respective hydroxide base with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Here, if it reacts with the steam, you 8th standard al consider. When metal reacts with the steam, adu badalagi ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, when metal reacts with respect to steam only, it produces metal oxide. Alva? Hangere, therefore it has produced iron oxide with the liberation of hydrogen gas. Right? With the liberation of hydrogen gas. Written up. Okay. Answer. This is the question which was given in the examination for 3 marks. 3 marks.
Sir, what is meaning of liberation, sir?
It releases the hydrogen gas. Well, another product is along with the iron oxide. Another product is formed. It is in gaseous state. Got it? Dear students, listen to me. We are going to balance the chemical equation by hit and trial method. But is there chemical equation? No. Il koಟ್ಟಿರೋದು chemical reaction ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. One chemical reaction. So it should be converted into chemical equation. To convert this into chemical equation, first you must be able to identify reactants and products. Yes, please go on writing with me. Here we are going to follow a method called hit and trial method. Right. By hit and trial method. Step 1. First step we will go for converting the given chemical reaction into word equation. This is first step. Without fail, you have to write each and every step correctly. The first step is converting the given reaction into word equation. Let us identify the reactants. What are the reactants? Look at when iron reacts with water, that is steam. Iron and steam, these are the reactants. They form iron oxide and hydrogen gas. So these are the products. Let me write. Step 1. Iron plus steam. Steam is nothing but water in the gaseous state. Write the same. Steam gives rise to iron oxide. Iron oxide plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas. Just you may write hydrogen. So this is word equation. In hit and trial method, the very first step is converting the given chemical reaction into word equation. Next, second step. In second step, we will go for writing that in symbolic representation, that is as chemical equation. The method of representing the chemical reaction by using the symbols and chemical formula of reactants and products. Let's go for writing. Iron, symbol of iron is Fe, Fe, ferrum plus steel. Chemical formula of steel, it is H2O. Gives rise to, we know that both are separated by plus sign. And show the arrow mark which indicates the direction in which chemical reaction is taking place. And then these two will react with each other to form iron oxide. Chemical formula
Fe2. Fe2.
Fe3O4.
FeO. FeO.
Fe3O4.
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 FeO. FeO.
FeO, sir. FeO.
FeO, sir.
Ferrous oxide, ferric oxide, and combined ಎರಡು combination ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, this is iron oxide. So I'll give you explanation regarding that also. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ balancing ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ I'll tell you the differences among these. So here, when iron reacts with the steam, it produces iron oxide, that is Fe3O4 plus hydrogen, it is H2. According to hit and trial method, after writing the chemical equation, each of the compound, they have to be written in the box. Here, put box for each reactant as well as each product. Over. We are moving to the next step. Step 3. Right. Listen. In the third step, we are going to listing the number of atoms of each element on the reactant side as well as product side. So right now, here it is element, then number of atoms of reactant side, reactants and product side. You may write LHS and RHS also. The elements that are involved are iron, hydrogen and oxygen. Just keep observing. Iron is there, hydrogen is there, oxygen. I'm going to listing them. Iron, Fe, hydrogen, H, and oxygen, O. These are the elements. Next, number of atoms of each of these elements. Iron. How many atoms of iron are there on the left hand side? This reactant side. There is only one iron. That should be written. Next, on the real product side, how many are there?
3.
Three. Next, hydrogen. Number of atoms of Hydrogen on the
two,
two. Product side,
two,
two are there. Next. Number of atoms are
One.
up to the number of
One.
atoms.
One.
One. Product side,
Four.
four. Right, draw it as a table. Next. Step 4. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ we will go for selecting a compound having maximum number of atoms or an element having maximum number of atoms. In general, when you observe that, which compound has maximum number of atoms?
Oxygen.
Hydrogen
Oxygen.
ಇದೆ, hydrogen ಇದೆ. Which one?
Oxygen.
I'm
Oxygen.
not asking you the element. Compound.
Fe3O4, sir.
Fe3O4.
Compound ಅಲ್ಲಿ more number of atoms are there. Okay. 3 plus 4, 7 are there. Here only 2. Here 2 plus 1, 3. Here only 1. Hence I go for selecting the compound iron oxide, that is Fe3O4. Right. In step 4, we will write the compound. Name of the compound having maximum number of atoms, that is Fe3O4. Next, after this, we will select the element having the maximum number of atoms. Compound item element. Which element has maximum number of atoms?
Oxygen.
Element. Hydrogen, iron, or oxygen?
Oxygen.
1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 4. 4 is the maximum. It is corresponding to oxygen. So oxygen element has maximum number of atoms. Oxygen. O. Stable code. Next. Step 5. In the fifth step. Here we have already selected the element having maximum number of atoms, that is oxygen. It should be balanced. ಇದನ್ನ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Sir, very disturbance, sir.
Yes, sir.
So disturbance, sir.
Disturbance, sir.
Look here. Here again we are going to prepare a table with respect to oxygen. You know, oxygen atom, the LHS side, that is reactant side and product. So initially, what is there? Initial. In the initial stage, number of atoms of oxygen on the LHS side.
One,
Sir.
Product side.
Four.
This is initial stage and error. Now it should be balanced. Now to balance,
Multiplying by 4.
you know, here I'll write 1 and 4 as it is. Now we have to equalize these two. Look here. Here 1 should, we have to equalize 1 and 4. Then, as I said, in case of fit and trial method, we will follow only the multiplication. Then what should be multiplied with 1 to get 4?
4.
Into 4.
4. So here into 4. Please encircle that 4. Now you write the equation. Fe plus H2O gives rise to Fe3O4 plus H2. Then put box for each. The balancing process is very simple, but hit and trial method method, it is much needed to follow these steps. Okay. Here 4 has to be multiplied where? On the reactant side or product side?
Reactant
Reactant side.
Reactant side, oxygen is here, so that I'll multiply 4 here. 4. Followed? Now, observe. Oxygen atom is balanced. Here 4 atoms of oxygen. Here 4 atoms of oxygen. But to get the oxygen atom balance opportunity, you have to take the next element as hydrogen. How many atoms of hydrogen?
8.
8.
8. You know, 4, 8. Here, how many atoms of hydrogen?
2, sir.
2, sir.
Adana balance part. Here, all right. Step 4. Sorry.
Multiplying by 4,
By
sir.
2, sir.
Correct. You got it. Sixth step. Step 6. Again, you have to write. Draw the table. Now, first we have balanced oxygen. Next, which element has to be balanced?
Hydrogen.
No.
H2O.
Hydrogen atom should be balanced. Hydrogen. Then LHS, reactant side. RHS, products. Hydrogen element here, balance product. Initial. In the initial state, how many atoms of hydrogen are there? 2.
2, sir.
No, I'm not going to. Now you should come to this.
8, sir. 8.
8. You know, 4 2s are 8. And RHS side, how many are there?
2,
2.
sir.
2 are there. 2. Please observe the word. Now we are going to balance hydrogen. Notice here I'll write 8 as it is, here 2 is there. Now we have to equalize 8 and 2. Then what should be multiplied with the 2 to get 8?
4.
4.
4.
4. Please encircle 4 and write the equation. Fe plus H2O gives rise to Fe3O4 plus H2. And please go for putting box for each of these. H2O, Fe3O4, then H2. Already oxygen has been balanced. I'll write 4 here. Then we will multiply.
Okay.
4. Do you all understand?
Yes, sir.
Once again, explain from step 5, sir.
Observe. Look here, in fifth step, we balanced oxygen. Nishka, are you following? Oh, okay. In fifth step, we balanced oxygen. In the sixth step, we balanced hydrogen. What is the left element?
Iron, sir.
Iron. Look at iron. Here, 1 iron. Here.
3, sir. 3 atoms.
What should be multiplied here?
3, sir.
3. Right.
3.
Step 6. Sorry. Seventh step. We are going to balance iron. Right. Fe. Then LHS part. RHS part. Right. Initial stage. Initial stage is this one. Iron. How many are there in the left hand side?
1.
1 iron. RHS side. Product side.
3.
Now we have to balance it. Right. To balance. Observe. Here 1, here 3. What should be multiplied with 1 to get 3?
3, sir.
3
3,
should
sir.
be multiplied. So encircle 3. Now you write 3 Fe plus 4 H2O gives rise to Fe3O4
4
plus
plus 4 is 2.
H2. Over.
Yes, sir.
Now, please, let's once you check that whether it is balanced or not. Iron, 3 items. Here, iron, 3 items. Hydrogen, 2 4s are 8 items. Here, 2 4s are 8 items. Oxygen, here 4 atoms of oxygen. Here, oxygen, 4. So, number of atoms of each element on the reactant side is equal to product side. Hence, it is balanced. Understood? Now, below this, you write. Therefore, the balanced chemical equation is. Therefore, the balanced chemical equation is. Space illa, and just I am dictating. Balanced chemical equation is. Now, you chemical balanced one baritella. In that type, you remove all the boxes. Directly you write 3Fe plus 4H2O gives rise to Fe3O4 H2. Written up?
Yes,
These
sir.
are the steps must be followed while balancing a chemical equation by hit and trial method. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood? Okay.
Sir, it is also known as tabular method also, sir.
Tabular method.
Yes, sir. This hit and trial method is also known as.
Because table use ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ we can call it so. But naming particular method name of the method has been given. It is hit and trial method. ಇದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೀವು ಫಾಲೋ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಇದು?
Sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
Dear students, before concluding the class, just I'll give you the instruction. Today, you'll be having the performance test through Google Form. It will be conducted in the evening from 7 to 7:45. Already I had given you the message as well.
Yes, sir.
Chapter is polynomials. Chapter is polynomials. Please do remember for 25 marks. 25 marks. Timing from 7 to 7:45. Okay. And
Sir,
yes, yes.
sir, in balanced chemical equation, sir, we need to write in which form they have.
In which form they have andre ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Iron, in which form iron is present
ಹೌದು.
and
ಹಂಗೆ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕಾ? ಅವರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. It has been given that when iron reacts with the steam or water anta direct ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. When iron reacts with the steam, it produces iron oxide with the liberation of hydrogen gas. That is the chemical reaction they have given. First word equation, next chemical symbolic equation, next compound having maximum number of atoms, next element having maximum number of atoms, next after that you will go for balancing the element one by one. Munde you balance okay. Get ready for the test. With this, let us stop the class. Thank you very much.